It's a question as old as time. Coffee, is it good or is it bad for you? And for more on it, I'm joined by Kate Save from BeFit Food to outline what is going on in the space. It's good to see you, Kate. Should coffee be avoided or is it a healthy drink in moderation?
Well, for one of the first times as a dietitian, I guess I'm not the bad news bringer. Coffee in moderation is actually really good for us. It's been associated with lots of benefits. This is not just for our mental clarity, our motivation. So it does impact the front part of the brain that helps us to get clarity of thought, improve our reaction times, but it's also been seen to be useful or helpful in metabolic conditions such as type 2 diabetes and reduced risk of overall mortality and cardiovascular disease risk too.
That was a very good outline from you, and I'm glad I drink so much of it. But what are some of the other benefits that coffee, or I guess caffeine, more broadly speaking, is good for?
So what they've noticed is that when it's acting on the body, it acts in a few different ways, but it's blocking the adenosine receptor in the brain. So adenosine is what causes us to feel sleepy. So from the moment we wake up, over the day, we start accumulating adenosine until we get really sleepy at night and want to go to sleep, I guess. And the caffeine can block this. So it's not actually giving us more energy, but it's getting rid of that sleepiness. However, there is some not so good news there if you're overdoing the coffee.
Let's take us through it, because I probably need to hear this, and I try not to drink it after a certain point in the day. But tell us through, perhaps there's people out there who shouldn't be drinking coffee, and I guess we can talk genetics as well. I knew you wanted to bring this to my attention.
Yeah, so first thing first is that there is a key role of genetics in caffeine consumption or coffee consumption. So caffeine is a component of coffee. However, coffee has benefits outside of the caffeine effects alone, and they know this by looking at energy drinks and caffeine in isolation. So coffee actually has thousands of different chemicals, but healthy natural chemicals that really give us these antioxidant benefits, as well as coffee even has fiber in it. Who would have thought? It gives you the urge to poop.
Which is, again, a healthy movement that we need to sort of condone moving forward. But what are some of the other sort of, I guess, negative side effects we can talk about when it comes to caffeine and perhaps drinking too much of it?
Well, with the genetic profile, so there's three different gene profiles. Well, in summary, there's a lot more than that, but basically you're either a fast metabolizer, which means that when the caffeine comes in, it might have a half-life of about 5 to 6 hours, meaning that at 12 hours later, you might have about 25% left in the system. So you want to drink your coffee early, but you'll be able to break it down much quicker than someone else. You can be a slow metabolizer where that may take even longer than 12 hours to get to that quarter point, or you may not be able to process that caffeine whatsoever. And they're the people that caffeine can really play havoc with. So stacking your coffee in the morning, if you're going to do it, is the best time. Having it in the afternoon is going to cause really, really bad effects on sleep, because it's pushing those adenosine receptors, or it's blocking the adenosine receptors that cause sleep. So when sleep finally catches up and the caffeine comes out, your body is just so exhausted and so tired, and you have this huge crash. So they actually recommend having your coffee early in the day, thinking about that 12-hour sort of window to get to 25%. But not starting the day with a coffee. If you can push out the first 90 to 120 minutes and get some sunlight, get some exercise, you'll get those adenosine, those tiredness levels really, really low, and then it won't build up as quickly and you won't get that afternoon crash. So understanding your genetics is really important, because people that can't tolerate it will get the heart palpitations, they'll get the jitteriness, they'll get all the things that are negative that come with caffeine, maybe the anxiety feelings. However, all in all, if taken in moderation, if taken by people who have the right genetic profile, it actually has been shown to lift mood, to be really neuroprotective, and even protective against things like Parkinson's disease.
That is what I like to hear. Kate, I want to thank you for joining us on the program, and of course highlighting the importance of, a little bit of coffee, moderation, and of course the pitfalls to avoid. Appreciate your time and joining us all the way from Kuala Lumpur, I believe.
Yes, that's right. Thank you, Mike.
Cheers. See you next time.